Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's TheSketchMonkey here. Now, I wasn't really planning on making this video. I was planning on taking a day off, relax a little bit, chill, maybe go to the beach, doing something fun like that outside. But then this Mitsubishi Outlander kept popping up in my mind from the first time I saw it last night, and I can't stop thinking about it, and I need to do something about it. So that's what I'm gonna do in this video. I'm gonna try to take this modern day Pontiac Aztek and see if we can maybe give it a shot in turning it into something that doesn't give you a headache as soon as you look at it from the front. Because every car, that's my opinion, every car needs a chance. We can't let it die on the surgery table. We need to give it a shot at least into some cosmetic surgery. So here it is. I'm not gonna talk about the spec and tech because honestly, who cares about spec and tech? Nobody that buys an Outlander is ever gonna look at the 0 to 60 time and determine that's why I want a Mitsubishi Outlander. So we're gonna jump straight into Photoshop here, talk about the design. So let's have a look at the rear here. The problem is that I'm not sure what Mitsubishi designers are thinking right now, because Mitsubishi, the brand, isn't doing that well at the moment. And I can tell you that this Outlander is not gonna help them get more sales based on the looks and the design of the car, because it's not a good looking car, especially from the front. But we're gonna have a look at the rear here first. So what do we have here? We have some BMW X7 inspired taillights right here. That's what they remind me of. And you also have this dip in here, which it feels like it's a Mitsubishi trademark, and it just makes the rear end look fat and heavy. And it started with the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, I think the name is, or crisscross or something like that. And they started doing this line here that goes in here. It just doesn't make it doesn't help the design in any way at all. But hey, the rear end is this is definitely the best view of this car. It looks decent. It looks like any other boring SUV out there that never going to see any off-road action. So we're gonna leave it at that. Rear view, fine. Boring, uninspired, like everything else. Now let's go into the side view right here. Let's have a look at this view here. So we have a lot of things going on here. We have this shoulder line here that goes here and then stretches all the way down here and then dips into this. You have a little bit of an angle right here. Then you have that almost mirrored down here. And this is some nice line flow here. It goes into the fender right there. Let's see if we can connect it somewhere up here. Does it connect anywhere? This line, it doesn't. It goes into the headlight, but you really don't have any connection there. Let's see if this top line here, if we erase it, let's see if we can connect that line to something going down or something in the fender. And it kind of goes into this point right here, but at a different angle. As you can see right here, this angle is different from this. It really doesn't connect to anything. But hey, why not add some styling just because of the sake of styling? Because that's pretty much, I mean, it's okay because it's a Japanese brand, and Asian car companies, they do a lot of styling for the sake of just having some extra lines in there. Just look at the new Hyundai Elantra, and all of these cars just mess a lot of origami. But on top of that, things I don't understand here in the side. For example, why do you have chrome right here? I think this is chrome, this is like satin metal, and then you have black trim pieces right here to kind of cut off the D-pillar here. I guess it's from a styling standpoint, it makes things a little bit more interesting. But then you have this angle here as well, and then connecting with this different trim piece, different material here from what it is right here, different angles here from what it is here. It just doesn't make sense. There are too many small details like that, specifically in the front, which I'm gonna show you in just a second. It doesn't make sense, but I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So the side view, still, it's the same as the rear view. It's a lot of lines going on, a little bit of line flow down here in the bottom, but that's about it. And then you have some over-styling going on in this angle right here, and the shoulder line going down here. It's fine. It's a Japanese car. It's an Asian car. They do a lot of over-styling, as I said, but I wish there were a little bit more line flow connecting these major lines, like the shoulder line, to some element in the front and some element in the rear, although it kind of does it right here, I guess. But now, let's jump in and talk about the big problem with the Mitsubishi Outlander, and that is, of course, the front view. Alright, so, where to start with this thing? I would love to sit down and with the designers of this car and have them put some reasoning behind all these things that goes on here. So this looks like an abscess or something in the face of the car. It looks like a huge pimple that's about to burst that seems so out of place from everything else. Because look at the shape of this thing. We have one line here, then a curvature here, then it goes into a straight line, and then a different kind of, almost a straight line here. So this line here is different from this curvature here, and then that goes straight down. Then you have a sharp corner down there, a little bit of a straight line, why not? And then a curvature here, another straight line that goes in there, and then this goes into the rear graphics here as well. So you can see they're trying to make some line flow here. But the weird thing about this, on top of the graphic features of this car, is the materials used. So they're using high glossy chrome right here. As you can see, this part is high glossy chrome. And then this part right here is some other different type of gray, some more satin looking gray. And then you have the black up here. So we have a lot of different materials going on. And then you have this mesh up here that is different from this mesh down here, that is different from this mesh down there. There is zero continuity in this front end for some reason. I don't understand why. And this car, of course, follows this trend of having the massive, the headlights, the main headlights being these things integrated in sort of the bumper of the car, and then you have the running lights up here to give it some sort of identity that it is a Mitsubishi or whatever. But it's definitely a huge trend right now. If you look at the Hyundai does this as well. I think BMW might start to do this with the new 7 Series. Not sure yet, but having the major headlights down there is a huge design trend going on right now. I just think this needs to be better defined. This is such a weird looking shape with all of these different radiuses and corners and sharp edges and mixed all together, and it doesn't even follow this shape right here. It would be a lot better if the outline of this shape right here followed the exact outline of this. It almost like it could be a puzzle. So you take the lamp away from the chrome trim and it kind of would fit there if you were able to put them together. So it makes more sense that way. So that's kind of what I'm gonna try to redesign here and make sense of this. See if we can save this car from instant death when it comes to the market, and see what we can do with a redesign here. So you're welcome to stick around for that. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna continue here in Photoshop, try to figure out what's going on here and make some other version of this front end while still trying to keep the intention of the designers, because I don't want to disrespect the designers. I just want to try and figure out what their thought might have been and then try to angle it towards the way I would see these parts play together, if that makes sense. So stick around for that. If not, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.